Hi, we're going to be making matza for the Feast of the Unleavened Bread using multiple ingredients found in your kitchen. In order to make this matza bread, you want to have the right ingredients. I use a family recipe I found online. It's basically 1 teaspoon of all-purpose flour from Gold Medal Flour Company, and then 1 cup of this as well. So 1 cup and then 1 teaspoon, and then we have 1/3 cup of water. I like to put in a little bit more if okay, and then 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Either way, you gotta have salt. Keep it kosher, and then definitely need 1 teaspoon of olive oil. I like to use this brand because it was packed in Italy, and it's my favorite type of brand. Now that you have all your ingredients, you want to try to use an oven, particularly one like this. You want to preheat this oven to 475 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be that'd be 25 degrees Celsius if we're converting in the United Kingdom. Okay, now that the oven is preheating, we're gonna use a clean work surface, just like my kitchen here, and then with a rolling pin, we're going to roll out some flour.
So the first thing we want to do is get 1 cup of flour into this mixing bowl here that we've received from my fans, and then we have our flour, of course, from Gold Medal, the best flour in the country. And we get 1 cup of this, about 1 cup. You just put it in the mixing bowl. Again, this is a recipe from my family that I found online, and we're making matza, kosher matza for the Passover feast here. And so once we have
Now that we've put the flour into our bowl here, the best thing to do is to set a timer. So I have my telephone here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's basically, I'm setting my timer to 16 minutes. That's probably about right. 16 minutes, so I'm going to start it as you see it's going here. Now that I've done that, now what we want to do is pour the water that I have here, this 1/3 cup of water, into the flour here. It's supposed to be 1 tablespoon at a time, but let's just estimate. I need a fork. Okay, you have a fork here, and we're supposed to stir this. I wish you could see how good this looked. It's coming out pretty good. Really excited about it. So once we pour the water, we need to add a tablespoon at a time. I'm just gonna pour it in as I feel is the right way. I don't know if this should be boiled or not. I'm just going off of the recipe I found. I feel like this video will be more helpful than just reading the instructions. Man, this is looking good. It's starting to look like matza. Favorite recipe here. And then once we get that going, okay, so we have the flour going still. I still need to pour in the rest of my water. Remember, stir while you pour in the water. Oh wait, no, keep stirring. And this is really starting to look more like matza as we put more water into it. The goal is to get this into a ball. I know it doesn't look like a ball, but eventually all of these little pieces of flour will become a ball after stirring for multiple minutes. As you can see here, I have my timer going. We have 13 minutes here. See that? Oh wait, I need to put a baking sheet in the oven. No. That was a close one. I'm going to continue to pour my water into my flour bowl. It's really starting to come together, guys. Thanks for all your patience and for submitting this into my video section of my comments. Really, I'm excited to make this for you guys. It's starting to become more like a flour ball, as you can see. We have it. It's still going here, so we're gonna just. I know we're supposed to wait, but I'm just gonna pour the rest in. I found that to be a little bit better. One time I made pizza, and I got the pepperonis and all the sauce and the cheese and the multiple olives and garlic, and I made the whole pizza without the dough. And that's really the main part of it, and I got lost with making it. But I don't know, as you can see, it's starting to come out. Okay, this is getting exciting, guys. I have my flour ball. I'm just gonna go ahead and stir this a little bit, and then I'm gonna take it out and just pour it onto my cutting sheet here. I think that's enough. I don't know if you can see from this angle, but it's really starting to look good. Alright, so now you just want to make this all into a big ball. I really need more water. I'm going to go get some more water. Okay, that should be fine. Alright, we're getting this nice ball shape we have going on. This is probably the hardest part about making matza is making the ball, especially when I should have put more water in. I'm gonna put some more water in. Oh. Just dump it accordingly. There you go. So I know I said like a third cup. We really want to aim for more of a cup of water. Otherwise, you'll get it. It won't be soft enough. And I'm gonna let this sit here, and then I'll come back to you guys soon. Go.
Hi.
Okay. So what we want to do now is take this ball of dough and divide it into 4 equal pieces. So I like to do one right here. So we got 2 balls right here. And then once we have that, I set 1 ball down and then make 2 more balls. more of smaller balls. Then we have the other two, or one, now become two, and we have 4 balls. And then I need to swiftly roll each piece of ball into a ball. Seems like I already did that, so I'll just skip. Roll each piece of dough into about a 5-inch pancake. So, let's do, there's a bunch of stuff here, and I think we'll just, I'm just going to roll it with the rolling iron as such. I'll let you guys see what I'm sort of doing here. So I got my balls here, and this is my main ball. I'm just going to roll this onto a pancake. This is always the biggest problem. It always gets stuck. You know, rolling irons are so outdated that I don't really understand the point of them anymore. So I guess we'll just live with it. So this is my 5-inch pancake that I made. It's more like a 3-inch pancake, but we'll see how close we can get to that. There we go. Oh, I think we got this pancake maker from a gift from one of our friends. Oh, crap. When that happens, just move on to the next ball. So we got our next ball. I'm going to try smashing this again. There you go. Before we move into pancake mode. Man, I'm really looking forward to this matza. I think it will be a good food for us in our holiday season here coming up. Okay, that's our 5-inch pancake. So we're just going to move to the next ball. And then I'll see you guys when I'm done.
Hey guys, so I made a mistake here. I was supposed to split those 4 balls into more balls, so I had 8 balls. So what I'm going to do now is just take these pancakes and just sort of cutting them in half so I have enough to feed the family. So next time when you make these, just remember that. Oh, looks like our timer's done. I don't really remember why we said that.
So just ignore that timer. We're just going to press forward and keep making our pancakes. So once we have 8 of these now, sorry about that, we're going to really make these as thin as they can possibly be. You know, the reason why the matzo bread is so thin is because the ancients had a tradition it would symbolize basically the thinness of the matzo bread would it would reveal to them the thinness of their bodies, and it was sort of a spiritual aspect of it that that I don't really get, but you know, do as the Romans do. So, all right, this isn't really going to get much flatter. All right, it's not coming off, so I'm just going to leave it there. Let's move on to the next flour pancake and get this guy going. And so once you roll all these out, actually, let's jump. So we have our pancakes here. we've made, I have 8 of them. I don't know if you can see them, but I made 8 of them. And what we want to do now is take our fork that we said we were going to use and poke holes into these. You want to make sure you get them all the way down at the bottom. And you want to poke 25 holes into the matza flour. So if you have a fork with, as you can see, I have 5 here, forks on the fork. You need to multiply. So if I put in 1, that's 5. If I put in 2, that's 10. So it looks like I might have a little bit more, but I think you can just average. And then once you do that, it should look something like this. Flip it over, and you'll start to see that matza look that we're looking for. And we want to just keep doing that. Just keep going. So, yeah, I probably have about 100 holes. I think it all depends really on culture and various things. I'm just gonna keep poking because this really, it's not really looking right. So I'm starting to get a little frustrated with my poking. We have to, you know, matza's not really that important of a food. It's just for tradition. So it's okay if it doesn't turn out all right. It's basically just to appease the tradition and basically the religion. I hate using that word, but that's what it is. And once we get all these poked, we can move on to putting them in the oven.
Now that we've poked our holes, we can take out the this. Woo, it's hot. Want to make sure you use an oven mitt. I don't own an oven mitt, so I just use this towel. And we want to place these guys, final product, over here onto this baking pan. This is the most important part of making matza, because back in Jewish times they didn't have ovens. So we have the privilege of having and owning an oven for ourselves. And so that makes things a little bit easier. Now my oven sheet doesn't really fit all of these, so I'm just going to try to make them fit. One more. Here we go. Once you do that, you want to put all of the stuff in the oven. Top rack. I'm going to leave it there for about 2 minutes or so. And then we'll flip them over after that. Let's just, I'll flap. I decided to move to my handheld device because it's a lot easier to maneuver than my computer MacBook. Let's take a look at these. Starting to look like matza. Let's keep them in there for a little bit longer and then we'll flip them over.
Okay, let's take these out of the oven now. Make sure we use our safety towels. I'm getting hungry. That's looking pretty good to me. Let's go ahead and touch them to make sure they aren't hot. They are a little hot. They're just in the oven. So I'm going to flip them over, like such. So yeah, I just want to keep flipping these guys over. I don't really remember which ones I flipped over, but we can just guess. And then we put these back in the oven. I really burned myself there. You have to be careful. That's why you should use oven mitts instead of towels. And we'll let that sit there until we're happy with it. In the meanwhile, we can clean up this mess that we've made. I'm sure my wife isn't going to appreciate this. So, I have other videos on how to clean up the dishes, and we can go over that at another time, and you can subscribe to me and see if that's what you want to do. But we could at least use this time to clean this all off.
What the heck? Still going?
You are bumming. Boy. It's been a while since these have been turning out okay, but hopefully we'll be able to enjoy our matza as soon as this oven kicks into gear here. It seems to be a little slower than normal. I think it's because I didn't use the right amount of dough. I'll update you guys pretty soon. Okay, so we've taken the matzahs out of the oven. So now what we're going to do, since it's really hot, probably need more towels. Again, you want to use oven mitts, but I only have this. So. Woo. Hot. So they're looking pretty good. They're still really hot. That's sort of what they look like. Now we just want to pour olive oil on this. You know, I really love olive oil. I know you're supposed to use a brush, but I don't have one. So I'm just gonna pour these on really quick. You know, a brush it really doesn't matter as long as it gets on there, and you're good to go. And then importantly, you want to put on your kosher salt. Now I don't have kosher salt. But it's salt. So you just want to sprinkle this on as time goes by. It'll soak in. You know, this isn't the best salt to use. You may want to just use regular old Mortone Mortone iodized salt. And then we'll just. You know, I don't remember ever buying this, so you gotta always check the expiration date. But salt is one of the many foods out there that don't need expiration dates. So we're in luck. And there you have it. matza with kosher salt and olive oil, and you have it, man. There it is. Okay, so we just take our matzahs and put them right on the plate here. Paper towel. I feel like I should have kept these in a little longer, but you know, I think they'll do just fine. And then you just want to keep them soaked. And then there you have it. Let's try one. Pretty good. Thanks for participating in this.